Once upon a time, there lived a young king called Igor. He was the ruler of the Omasoma kingdom. He gained the throne when he was 25 years of age. Before his father died, he used to take him on a journey to a faraway land where he had a friend, an old king that was a very good friend to him. His father would take Igor with him on these journeys. And when they got there, the king of that empire will entertain them and spend time talking with Igor. As time went by, Igor started looking at him as a mentor. He will often travel there and stay with him for some time. He learned martial arts, all sort of fighting techniques from him before returning back to the Omasoma kingdom. One day, when his father passed on, he was crowned the king of Omasoma kingdom. And during that time, his mentor came. And after the ceremony, he went back to his kingdom. So each time, Igor used to get prepared and go for a visit to see his mentor. He found that he had a beautiful daughter called Idore. The girl was so beautiful that the first day he set eyes on Idore, he knew that it was love at first sight. The two parties did not know that the king, who was his mentor, was watching them. And immediately the king knew that that was the right husband for his daughter. So he asked Igor if he was interested in marrying Idore, and Idore said yes. To cement the friendship, his mentor, the king, agreed and accepted Igor as his son-in-law. The wedding was done, and Idore was given to Igor as a wife. Before she became his wife, before she was led to the kingdom of Omasoma, her mother, the queen, called her into the room and spoke with her and said, Idore, my daughter, as you are going, your husband is a great king, controlling a big empire. A time may come for war. A time may come for peace. When it comes, be prepared as a woman. Go to the 7 hills and ask the gods to give you and your husband the grace and the power to overcome the kingdom, waging war against you people. That is what I always do in your father's case. And that is why we are a great empire today. So as you go, obey your husband, love him and listen to him. May the gods of our land bestow you with beautiful children. Idore answered, Amen, mother. And then she was led to her husband's house in the Omasoma kingdom. While they were there, the subjects of Igor loved him so much. He was a king of peace. He loved peace. Despite the fact that he has practiced a lot of martial arts and the art of fighting wars, he did not like to see bloodshed. He did not like to fight in wars, and so maintain peace in the vast empire his father had already handed over to him. So thus they were, when one day a message came to him. A servant came to him and told him, "Oh, my king, all the neighboring kingdoms are waging war against each other. And the king of Akuja is the one winning. He has been terrorizing the whole kingdoms around, except ours, the Omasoma kingdom. What should we do, my king?" Igor answered, "We do nothing, my dear. As long as he does not come to our kingdom, we do nothing." "All right, my king." He bowed down and left. About few months later, Akuja wrote sent a message in writing on a leaf and gave to his servant to come and give Omasoma kingdom. They looked for the king, Igor, and handed over the message to him that Akuja is challenging Igor to a war. King Igor looked and laughed. Go back and tell your king that I do not engage in wars and I do not like bloodshed. I'm a peaceful king and I have no interest in fighting war with him. The messenger went back to Akuja and told him. King Akuja was laughing, threatening, and proud, telling other kingdoms he had annexed that King Igor was afraid of him and that he's given King Igor 2 weeks to come out and fight, otherwise he will seize the Omasoma kingdom from Igor. That was too much for the queen to bear. That night, the queen called her husband, woke him up and said, my husband, the threat from Akuja is too much. I cannot bear to see our kingdom being looked upon, frowned upon as a weak kingdom. We have to accept this challenge. King Igor laughed. My lovely wife, Idore, you know your husband doesn't like wars. He doesn't like to see bloodshed, except I'm pushed to the walls. Though I'm being pushed to the walls, but I do not wish to fight, Igor said to his queen. Idore said, my love, we cannot continue to accept this. The entire kingdom has begun to talk and say that it's like our king is weak. We cannot allow this, my lord. The king refused to go to war with Akuja. The next morning, Idore set out to the 7 hills, the way her mother had told her to go and seek for solution. She went to the 7 hills, moved round and stood facing the east and shouted, O gods of my ancestors, O gods of my ancestors, present yourself to me now. I need your help. Instantly, there was a kind of wind and a roar of thunder, and she could hear lightning and thunder. What do you want? The voice came. I need strength. I need my husband to win the war that's raging now around us. I want my husband, when he goes to the war front, to win. I want him to win. Meanwhile, Idore left her only son at home in the hands of the maids before leaving. So as she was talking, the gods answered and said, Idore, you have come to ask for a very strong favor. And this is the first time you are asking. It is a great king that is trying to wage war against your husband. Akuja is a great king and a great warrior. For your husband to defeat Akuja, can you make the sacrifices? Idore laughed and bowed down. My gods, I am ready to do anything. As far as we will win, our kingdom will win the war. Now, there are 2 things involved. You have to make a choice of one. Firstly, you have to give us your son, your only son, the only child you have, to stay with us forever, never go back to you and your husband anymore in the kingdom. Or you give us yourself to remain in our kingdom and never go back. You make a choice. Idore shook her head. She cannot give her only son that will be crowned the king of the kingdom one day. No, she would rather give herself. She said to the gods, I am ready to give myself to the gods. Ha, 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 ha. Laugh. They were laughing. The voice of laughter came from the kingdom of the gods. Are you sure you give yourself to us and remain with us forever, leaving your husband and the kingdom and your son? You can always have another son, can always have another child. No, my God, I will not allow my son to go through that. I asked the favor and I'm willing to give myself up. All right, you may go. Tell your husband that when he goes to the war front, he should call your name. And as soon as he calls your name, whatever happens, he should remain steadfast. At the end of the war, the surviving virgin will be his bride, his new bride. Idore started to cry. Yes, my God, thank you for answering my prayers, my request, she said, and turned to go. Then the voice came, remember, on the day you are coming to give yourself, that should be 2 days before the war. Don't look back as you are coming. Move on until you get to the place you are standing now. Yes, my God, she replied, and she took her leave. Got back home crying. That night, she woke her husband up and said, my Lord, you will go to the war. And as you are going to the war front, when you get there, as you are standing on the hills or valley, wherever the battle is fixed on, call my name. As soon as you call my name, the battle will begin. And at the end of the battle, the virgin that survives in the war front, you take her home, she will be your bride. What? Cried the king. What? Then where do I put you? I told you I don't want to marry 2 wives. I want to marry only my Idore. Yes, my lord, she replied. I remember you saying that. But now it's time for survival. It's time for survival, for the future of our children. I've got a son that will inherit the kingdom one day. So any other thing is not a pain to me. Go and have the grace to win the war. I'm sacrificing myself for you, for the love I have for you. I'm sacrificing my life for you, my husband. Go, remember, I will always love you. Wherever I am. Igor started to cry. He held on to his wife, but she would not relent. She kept to her words. 2 days to the war, when Igor had assembled all his men and they were ready to go to the war front, Idore hugged him and bade her son farewell and started to move towards the hills where she had taken the vow with the gods. As she was going, her son was crying, Mother, mother, carry me along. Her husband was shouting, Idore, my love, come back, please. Come back to me. Come back to your beloved husband. Come back. I don't care about the wars. I don't care about anything. I love you so much. But Idore was not listening. She kept on moving. She kept on going until she got to the hills without looking back and disappeared. It was time now for war, and Igor and his men set out for the war front. It was held in a valley. As they were there, the other Akuja kingdom were at the opposite end. King Igor, climbed the hill nearby and stood there and shouted, Idore, my beloved. In tears and frustration, instantly it was as if hailstones were coming from different directions, hitting the opponents, the Akuja kingdom people. While his men stood transfixed, watching, stones were descending and hitting the Akuja people. Meanwhile, while the Akuja people were coming, they had set 7 virgins in front. The smallest was in front. The smallest was 16 years old, while the others were following behind. As the stone was coming, it was raining down on the Akuja people. It was hitting them, and they were dying instantly. It was hitting them while the king Akuja was moving forward. The stone, with his own powers, spearheaded by the virgins. As he was coming, the stone hit the first virgin, the virgin at the back, the 7th one, the 6th one, the 5th one, the 4th one, the 3rd one, and the 2nd one. Immediately he hit the 2nd one, the king dropped and died instantly as a heavy stone hit him, remaining the first virgin, dark-skinned, beautiful, ebony-looking girl standing there, 16-year-old, called Isusu. King Igor looked and was surprised at what had happened. Instantly, the war came to an end as the king dropped dead. Every other surviving person from the Akuja kingdom stood transfixed. They had never seen this kind of war before. The Igor fighters never raised any of their tools. And look at them, we're now on the ground. They took to their heels. But immediately, the people of Omasoma, the warriors, surrounded them and captured them. While King Igor stretched out his hand and held the beautiful virgin in front of him, Isusu, and took her home. He took her to the kingdom and left her to sit down, went in to cry for his beloved Idore. There is no beauty that can compare with my beautiful Idore, my lovely Idore, mother of my children. The heart of my heart was crying, but he had to obey his wife, the queen. So, the kingdom was annexed to the Omasoma kingdom, the Akuja kingdom, and the wedding was conducted between Igor and his small little girl, Isusu, of 16 years old. That is the end of the story. Thank you for listening. Remain blessed. Please share the videos as much as you can. Thanks for watching.